All right. Yet another Minecraft Farlands or Bust live stream. This one for September 23rd, 2022. We just passed the 44,000 megabyte mark on the last one. We're just blazing through the far to and through the Farlands, just absolutely rolling towards them at incredible pace. On today's stream, I'm going to talk about a dump, a deck, and I'm looking for another word that starts with a D and is 4 letters, but I don't think any exist, to be honest. All right, who's ready? Whoop! I muted myself on OBS, or not OBS, Discord accidentally. Fine, and a dwarf, yeah, a dwarf. Ah, thank you very much. All right, I'm clicking the button. Woof! We are ready to begin. Walking to thine far lands here in Minecraft Beta 173. Grab Wolfie and use a boat. Woof indeed. What do I need? I definitely need some wood. Probably use some wool. About it. Noted and immediately forgotten. So yeah, we were, what the hell was that on the horizon? Did you see that? I think it was just like the tree loading in. The deck has neared completion. For those of you following the saga of the deck. We should have, like, streamed it. But I don't think the girlfriend would have liked that. The Great Deckening. The Great Deck Undeckening. So yeah, long story short, it's an old wooden deck that was painted like a baby blue color. The wood was very much rotted. And, oh! It's fine. Are we fine? We're fine. Serpentine. And because it was painted, every time it rained, in conjunction with all the stuff from the trees and whatever, it got very, very slippery. Dangerously slippery, I would say. So it's something the girlfriend's been wanting to do for a very long time. Whoa! But also, it's like, it pretty much goes the length of the house on one side, but then there's like an additional nubbin. Like an additional square, like 12 by 12 nubbin that extends out. That we never use. And we were figuring if we take that nubbin out, we could use the good wood from that nubbin to replace the rotted wood on the actual deck we're keeping. But also, it creates more room for activities. The primary activity being parking cars. Because right now we have 2 gates on the fence. One goes to the garage, and one just goes to kind of an area, a spot. But by removing the nubbin of the deck, which is betwixt the two, we could, in theory, if we're able to, like, grade and fill the area, have a, I don't know what that's called, a U-shaped parkway? Is that a parkway? Kind of a semi-roundabout? That would make it easier to shuffle cars around. now that we have 4 of them. 2 of which live in the garage. There is the tree out there that is now going to be the central point of the roundabout. But yeah, anyway, while I was gone visiting my mom in Colorado, the girlfriend started by tearing apart. Arcus will be thrilled. Arcus loves outdoors. She started taking apart. It had like the railings with that weird crosshatch wood stuff that was really gross and ugly. We started taking that apart. And then she got some kind of expensive, but apparently very helpful diamond-plated angle grinder wheel specifically for stripping paint off of deck wood. And it apparently worked like a charm. So she took an angle grinder to the whole thing and got the paint all off. And this is after like so much research about how best to do it. Should I paint it again? Should I just rebuild the whole thing with new wood? Should stain? You can't stain over paint, and getting quotes from people where it's going to be like $8,000. We tried to get a quote from somebody who like refused. We're like, we want to remove this part of the deck, and he refused. He's like, why would you want to do that? It's a great. We could put a hot tub there and blah 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 blah. No, we want it gone. No. I was like, okay, this guy is really in tune with his whole deck persona. A real deck enthusiast. Yeah. He was offended nearly. So yeah, she did that. Whole lot of dust. And then we kind of did things in a weird order, but it was like the order that we were doing things. And when I say we, I mean she. She did most, aka all of this. I just don't like any sort of any sort of house building or renovation or painting. It makes me upset. So I don't. She's like, you don't have to. But I helped where I could. Like I trimmed the shrub. We have not a shrub. It's what's a big fence-like bush called? What are those things? You know what they're called. Hedge! A hedge, thank you, yes. I trimmed the hedge because it was encroaching on the work area near the deck. I did all that. I did some light sanding. But yeah. So we demolished that part, which was very hard to do. Like, in my mind, we could just like, oh, let's just remove the nails and the screws, and we can just take apart the deck piece by piece. But no, the nails and screws, of which there were many and both types, were very much rusted in and stuck and impossible to budge. We made the mistake of also doing so not with a crowbar or sledgehammer of any proper type. But we did have a sawzall, which mostly did the job. This all sounds great. I know. That's why the girlfriend was like, you should just put the camera out here and we should stream it. I'm like, I would, but I think it would make a lot of people upset, A, and also B, the OSHA non-compliance that was taking place would have also upset many folks that I just didn't want to have to deal with. So yeah, I think the sawzall is broken now, but The circular saw is definitely broken, but that thing has been broken. So if a crowbar and a sledgehammer shows up on my throne wish list, you know why. Might come in handy in the future. But yeah, she did have a pickaxe, as one does. And the pickaxe provided some leverage, although the pickaxe now is bent, like the metal part. So that gives you an idea of how wedged and stuck some of these planks of wood were. But it was very easy to then pickaxe out the little, very tiny amounts of concrete that the deck was anchored in. I need a diamond pick. No wonder the guy didn't want to mess with it. True, true. But anyway, we dismantled that, shredded it into multiple large parts, and then we started looking at how to get rid of that junk because it's not reusable. AKA, we chopped it into a million pieces and splintered it and pulled it and ripped it and destroyed it. But also, it was like treated wood and painted wood, so it's not stuff you can really reuse or recycle or something like that for anybody would want. So we don't live in a waste management monopoly, so we couldn't get any of those bagsters, which is a really weird name. We looked up junk hauling places, and they were all quoting $500, $600, $700, $800. So instead, the girlfriend decided to rent a U-Haul truck, and we would just do it ourselves, which I was not looking forward to, but I can proclaim that it went much faster and much smoother than anything we've ever had to do with the house. And now we've reached the dump part of the story, as promised. I've never rented like a U-Haul truck either or anything like that. I've always known somebody with a truck or whatever when moving or something. So at first I was a little bit worried. We just got the smaller 10-foot van, you know, the box van. I was worried it was all going to fit in there. Because even though it wasn't a full deck, it was still just a lot of stuff, and it was all weird sizes, because it was like not taken apart piece by piece. It was big chunks of deck. Deck chunks, as I like to call them. But also all like the nails and dust and rusty screws, whatever. So anyway, got the van, parked the van, and just loaded it up. Like so many old Lego sets where a lot of the pieces are still stuck together, you just toss them in a bin. Hello, tetanus. Hello. So it went in the van. We picked up the van at like 9. Got back, ate breakfast. Loaded all the stuff up. Some of the planks we had to cut down because they were still too big to fit. Drove to the dump. And I tell you what. If you wanna feel sad about the state of humanity and your part in it, go to a dump. Go to a garbage drop-off dump. I mean, obviously, if you have something, otherwise it costs money to go in there. But yeah, you go in, they weigh your truck or vehicle or whatever, and then you just got to go park next to a bunch of other humans and throw your stuff in the ever-growing pile of detritus. And it's just this big warehouse, and there's those giant, huge trucks pushing all the garbage around, and there's sprinklers sprinkling from the ceiling to keep the dust from flying. And then there's actual garbage trucks coming in and dumping their garbage trucks, which is just a fantastic aroma when they do that. And then they start shoveling it around with those giant, huge... What are those called? Lifter, loader things. Cone is very aware of that, yes. So then we just had to very carefully take apart our menagerie of deck parts out of the back of the... Yeah, the front end loaders with like the giant... Well, I mean, they were rubber wheels, but they were the giant wheels. You know, the sort of thing you expect to see at like a coal mine or something, or a quarry. Not a backhoe. It was definitely a front hoe. Anyway, yeah, and just like all the other people unloading stuff that they just must do on a near daily basis. Roofing equipment and tiles and so many cardboard boxes and just the smell and the dust. When I got home, I blew my nose, and there still is black death coming out of it. Yeah, I say this coming from a point of privilege of never having to have done this before, but yeah, so we did that, and like we got done with it all by 11:30. And there was a line for the dump. But we missed it. Like, we saw the line leaving, because when you leave, then they weigh your truck or whatever again, and then obviously whatever less you weigh is the amount, and then you pay whatever per 100 pounds or whatever it is. Well, yeah, this is what this is, a transfer station. It's not an actual dump. It is a transfer station, but it still has all of the dump accoutrements. And it's where all of the city's garbage comes through. It's a very big transfer station. Was there people trying to salvage stuff from the trash too? No, that I've experienced. There's like, because this one you have to like get a ticket and like pay to come in. Well, you know, you pay to leave, I guess, after they weigh your truck. So yeah, there was no randos there. People, I think, do that on the recycling side, because that's just open. Like, they don't check that you're a city resident or anything like that. I mean, they have, but they don't lately. On the recycling side, which is where is the only place I can go to recycle plastic bags. And it's where I go to put old motor oil. They have motor oil drop-off. And stuff like that. It's where we dropped off our old oven, and you know, that stuff is free, the recycling area, but the trash is not free. So yeah, I'm shocked. I remember mentioning this, and I'm like, I feel like this is a scenario where we might end up regretting not spending the $700 to pay somebody else to do this. But no, all in all, with the truck, with how much it cost at the dump, it was less than $200. I mean, and our time, I suppose, but... And then just now, the girlfriend was finishing up painting what she had left to paint on the deck. Yeah, just the amount... And even it not being a dump, just like, you start to realize like how much junk and just trash, garbage, waste is in the world, is in your immediate community, and it's just like, makes me feel bad. I will say, from an environmental standpoint, personally, I'm more concerned about the emissions and the global warming. Certainly trash plays a part in that, but like all these laws and stuff about banning plastic bags and straws and like that sort of thing, I think kind of diverts our the conversation away from like the imminent and active threat of global warming. But whatever, I'm not here to talk about that. I ain't prepared to bite into that hard-boiled egg. Are we stuck up here? This happens from time to time. It happens. Where we'll climb a mountain just because it's in our way. Because it's there. And then find that it's just a solid vertical cliff on the other side. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, Manfredity, is that people can see the garbage. People can see the plastic bags blowing in the wind. You can visit a dump and see all the garbage, but you can't see, usually, unless you live in a smoggy area or something like that, you can't see pollution. It's only until the last 10 years that we're starting to feel the global warming. And it's a marketing thing, really, too. The oil and gas and automotive companies have a lot more money to distract you into thinking and worrying about other things. Conspiracies. So yeah, that was my day at the dump. But yeah, like I said, the girlfriend just finished up kind of painting the rest of the deck. Well, she painted the railings, but stained, because she stripped all the paint off of the decking. Stained the deck. It turned out a little bit more purple than she would have wanted or liked, but I think it goes well against the black of the house and the railings that she made it. It's a nice contrast, a modern palette. Indeed. Indeed. And I had minimal input on the job. I'll help. Just, it's not that I don't care, it's that I don't want to do the work. It's not satisfying, even to me. Oh, I got turned around there really quick. How long was I doing that? Was that just right here in the snow? Hopefully. Will we get a deck stream? I don't know, maybe we'll do a barbecue stream. And by barbecue, I mean grill. I don't know, maybe we'll grill something. We do need, because we destroyed and removed the little nubbin the 12 by 12 nubbin, there is now a part without a railing on that side. So if any of you have any hot leads, the girlfriend was looking at like these privacy walls that you can just buy, like pre-built privacy walls. Something's like 12 feet. The problem I personally have with them is that they're all like self-standing and like stand on feet. I would just want something that goes in the spot. I got one hiding my AC unit. Well, that's the thing. This one, the nubbin, the 12 by 12 nubbin, didn't just have hip height railings. It had 6 feet, 7 feet. Like a privacy walls around them, which was nice. It kind of hid the house from being able to be visible from the main street. But they're also very ugly with that cross-hatched wood thing. I mean, it would be okay to have no railing there and just to have the whole thing really be along, like, a couple of steps down. But that would be kind of too difficult to try to engineer. Especially if we're just gonna, like, park a car there or something. So yeah, kind of like the thing where, like, if you live in an apartment on the ground floor and, like, your neighbor and yourself have an adjoining patio that they put between the two units, that's sort of like privacy. I don't know, what's this, privacy wall, I suppose? I'm sorry, this is adorable. We have to take a moment. Yeah, we're watching you with your toe beans. We could definitely build something. I built a new deck at my house. Yeah, I mean, I just know, like, wood is super expensive now. The razzle dazzle. Look at this. Oh, he's getting in there. He's going to town. This is serious business. Those of you watching on YouTube, this is our niblet intermission. Interniblet. Yeah, I mean, we still do have the two nibbler mission. We still do have the two tall, you know, 2x2 or whatever they are, posts there. We didn't tear those down. So we could build something in between them. Adorable. Okay. Continuing on. All right, I need boats and beds. Check if they're rotted at the base. Well, I mean, there's definitely still some not great wood, but we don't want to rebuild it. It's holding up on its own. It's weird. The posts don't go into the ground. The posts go into some metal cup thing that has a single metal pole that goes down into the ground and then has a bit of concrete around the metal post. Yeah, I don't know what that is called. The main purpose of the refurbishment was to make it not slippery. Is to make it look better, yes, but also make it not a death slip every time it rained. Which hopefully using a stain instead of the paint will do. We shall see. We shall see indeed. So yeah, the next thing we gotta do is there's like a cinder block half wall that was kind of keeping one side of the yard from spilling into the deck. Now we gotta like remove a section of that and then grade the dirt in a way that we can connect the two driveways. I feel like we have to resurface ours every couple of years. Hopefully that's not the case, but we also don't know how much longer we're going to stay here. Definitely more than a couple of years, but 5, 10? I don't know. We basically just wanted to last long enough for us and let it be the next guy's problem. Honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if in selling this place, somebody buys it for the land and then just bulldozes the house, to be honest with you. It's still a fine house, and it does the house things, but the way they're like stacking the houses next to us in empty lots, like, oh, they'll fit a house on that, and they squeeze 2 houses in right next to each other, feet apart. That's you. That was you, Beats Not Bombs, is doing rock climbing. That is not a boat, that's a bed. Should have had you come over and help with the deck. Well, that's the thing. We're doing minimal minimal amounts and minimal monies, please, is where we're at. Yeah, we didn't. I mean, we bought some new wood for the railings, but min-maxing, yes. Doing our own junk hauling to the transfer station. Money's got to go into the truck I'm looking for. That's where the money's going. Yeah, I know she wanted to redo the kitchen at some point, but I think that's off the docket. That would be too much, both as far as money and as far as an inconvenience. I wouldn't. Well, I mean, I don't think I'm exactly a neighbor to you. That would. I think you're way north, aren't you? But anyway, before we dox everybody, personal conversations between two people on a live Twitch stream. Let's put this floating tree out of its misery. No, I mean, I appreciate it. Ah, Gavalofy! Oh no! What are you doing, you dingus? Ow. That was unnecessary. I just freed you. Oh, dang it. Perhaps. Do you know anything about making skate ramps? The girlfriend wants one of those. Oh. Oops. Speaking of breaking your bones, skate ramps, like quarter pipes, for the Tony Hawking, the Honey Talking. Yeah, one of the things I think I did in demolishing the section of the deck was ruin my spinals. I definitely did something. My girlfriend says it's my sciatic nerve. Top of my butt is broken. Completely obliterated. That was the part of my back that I hurt that one time. Remember I talked about this? And now, our regular series of, yes, you're watching a 40-year-old Twitch streamer. When I was working on the car or something, where like I didn't do anything, I just turned weird. I just like looked around the garage weird. And something went, haha! Same situation happening. I don't know. I will have to ask her. I'm assuming she wants like a simple quarter pipe, because a full half pipe is a big deal, like is a big thing. She just wants somewhere to practice her roller skating, park skating, without having to go to an actual skate park in the Publix. Look at this place coming up. Speaking of which, screenshot. It made that exact noise. Kind of. They have a skate park at Publix now? That is a regional tweet. I could climb this mountain, but I feel like it's going to betray me again. I think I'm going to try to go around it. Could have made a skate ramp out of the old pieces of the deck. Just bend them. Wood bends, right? Indeed. What else was I going to talk about today? Talked about the dump. Talked about the deck. Thank you, Beats Not Bombs, once again. You have your own Minecraft server. I do, but it's for my patrons. And even then, is it? I don't know the last time a person logged on. I did just have to pay for another 3 months of it. So, I think it's time to make a personal choice about that. As to whether or not I should continue doing that. All these savings on deck repairs are going out the window towards a Minecraft server that nobody uses anymore. Well, you know what I gotta do here. Haha. Eroding. There's the DART asteroid impact test coming up this Monday. True, true. I haven't personally been following along too closely with that one. Like, are we going to get... I know we have satellites.
Destination that matters.
Satellites. Telescopes.
Maybe it's the journey.
To the journey.
You're here. To the journey.
Ashviratu has been part of the journey for 71 months. I'm a patron and have never used it. I say kill it with fire.
1 vote. I second. We have reached a quorum. Kill the patron server. Ashviratu, thank you very much for 71 months in the subtub. And would you believe, my friend, you have also claimed the rare, the much lusted after first sub-resub of the day. Yay. Thank you very much, SubTub. They did not ever launch that moon rocket, and now there's concerns with a hurricane that's approaching the Florida jurisdiction. I think they were considering rolling back to the VAB, but I think they decided not to at the moment. Because they were going to try the launch again on like the 28th or 29th or something, right? Or was it October 1st or something? I don't remember the date that they had set the next, no earlier than 28th. Right. I don't know when this hurricane is supposed to reach the area. The batteries in the escape tower are not serviceable and expire in October. Well, I mean, there's nobody in there, so I suppose... I don't know if they would consider that a conclusive test if they fly without those. flight termination system. That's a little bit more important. That one is a little bit more important if it starts going off course towards Orlando or something. Replacing the batteries needs a rollback. Yeah. Indeed. Interesting indeed. When I was in Colorado, and I doubt any of you can answer this because I tried to look it up, but from my mom's place, just after sunset, I absolutely definitely saw a bright satellite. It wasn't Venus or a planet or anything like that, and it wasn't dark enough for it to be a star, nor was it in anywhere where a bright star would be. But it was definitely, if it was a satellite, or maybe I was having a seizure, if it was a satellite, it was geostationary. But it must have just caught the angle of the glint correctly in the Denver area just after sunset. You know, almost like an iridium flare, but like I said, geostationary. Maybe it was an iridium flare, but I don't think those satellites are like operational or up there anymore, are they? I mean, maybe they're still up there. I don't know, I tried looking it up and there was nothing. But yeah, it wasn't a planet or nothing. It wasn't on the ecliptic plane. Dang it, Wolfie! I don't know, I thought that weird. But then we did stay out because it was a clear night and look at the stars, and from her place you can kind of see very faintly the Milky Way, which is cool. But we saw a bunch of satellites, and we did see, like 3 or 4 days prior, a Starlink chain launched, and I saw like 3 or 4 of them moving across the sky, which is the first time I've seen that. I didn't see the full chain of, you know, it wasn't recently launched, but I'm like, that's nice. And now they're doing space news, and now they're teaming up with T-Mobile. Did you hear about this? Did you read this in the news? And they're doing like 4G satellites, and they're like these huge, like they're the size of a tennis court or something, or half a tennis court. I don't know. And they're going. I think they launched one already, like the test one, which is going to be smaller than the full ones. But when they're unfurled, it's going to be like brighter than the International Space Station. That is not small. I know. I mean, like the Starlink things are like the size of a refrigerator or whatever, right? I think that's what they're saying. Maybe it was a Geosat flare. It was very constant. It lasted at least 15 minutes. Because I went inside, had dinner, and came back out, and it was gone. So it wasn't a star or anything like that. Wasn't that part of the V2 Starlink? No. No. This is something completely different. They're like teaming up with T-Mobile to beam space-based cell phone signals that, like, your phone could pick up. Bridge size is standard for sats? Not really. A lot of satellites are very big. Starlink are fridge size because they can launch 52 of them in on one rocket, and then they unfurl to kind of be the surface area of a fridge or whatever. Most satellites are pretty huge. Which is why, like, they only launch one at a time, or maybe 3 or 4 at a time. Most satellites are like bus-sized. But anyway, yeah, that's concerning. You'll have to Google it and see the images for yourself. Also, did the flare happen like after evening? It was just like almost immediately after sunset. Like I said, maybe lasted for 15 or 30 minutes, maybe. I kept like trying to like figure it out. It wasn't moving, and it wasn't on any of my you know, star charts or night apps or anything like that. Yes, I shall Google strange lights over Denver. Right, yeah, I mean, I know how to spot the ISS, and I know, like, the whole sun angle, sunset, earth shadow thing. So I'm no amateur observer here. But it was just weird that I couldn't find any information about it. Even, like, I didn't look too hard, because I was just on my phone, and I hate using the internet on a phone. Dang it, this dang mountain betrayed me. But, like, I couldn't even find it on, like, not Starry Nights. Heavens Above. Anyway, if these cell phone gigantic tennis court sized satellites end up working, each of them are going to be the brightest thing in the night sky. But don't worry, they're only launching 100 of them. Good times here in the future. Space dump. Yes, this is the dump episode. We're just taking dumps. Taking and talking dumps. I've got a headache. Probably all the asbestos I inhaled at the dump. And leaded paint that we sanded off the deck. Geosat flares can vary depending on your latitude. Right. I mean, that's what I assumed, that it was very local to where I was, which is somewhere that I've not been ever to have noticed it. I mean, all satellite sightings can vary based on your latitude. It's the... Oh, okay, bye, Wolfie. It's going for a swim. Man, speaking of work, I gotta do something about the Datsun. I don't know what to do about it. I like it, and I want it to be good. But much like my interest in refinishing and redoing a deck, I'm not very interested in redoing the suspension or the interior or the exhaust. Whoa. And it weighs on me like a golden piece of jewelry forged in the fires of an active volcano with a very ominous name. Volcano Bob? Gee, do you think this place is gonna be good news for us? Called Mount Doom. You know, I really trust this guy, Mr. Wormtongue. He seems like a real outstanding citizen. I feel like we can trust the things he says. Who came up with these names? Hideo Kojima? Come on now. Alright, I guess... Oh, there's a pig here. Get Wolfie back up to health. And get that pig to death. Sorry. Ooh, buddy, one more bed. So what's new with yous? Yous lot. Oops. Boink. You got ghosted by a potential job. Ghosted. I'm sorry to hear that. Ooh, skeleton residue. I'm very ooh, piece of candy. Like, you contacted them and no response or nothing? Like, I guess I wasn't ghosted, but I felt that way about when I interviewed for Bring a Trailer. Like, the people on the interview were like, can you start now? And everything. It's because they're desperate for people. But then I wasn't offered a job. And I'm like, oh. Okay. Why? But nobody got back to me about why or whatever. It's just okay. Can you start now is a bad question. Please, can you phrase that in the form of a question? Is that a tell that I'm terrible at interviews and interviewing, which I'm assuming is the reason I didn't get hired. But yeah, I don't know what what the tells are. If somebody says with a laugh, "When can you start?" or "Can you start now?" Is that a wink to the other interviewers to be like, "Screw this guy"? Nudge, nudge. Wink, wink. It probably means someone walked. Well, no, they were in a desperate hiring mode for writers, is what it was. And I'm sure they have high turnover too. But what like Cone and ZK were saying is they probably just want like just out of college kids or whatever who have a lot of free time to sit down and write 14 ads a week or whatever their quota was and not worry about the intricacies of an actual full-time job and benefits and things, working remotely and whatever. So this old guy with a back problems coming on. It's ageism, plain and simple, I say. I'll see you in court. The tennis court. Excuse me. Maybe it was all the yawning I did on the interview. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Had some interesting landscapes today. Oh, I thought that flower was lava. Flower is lava. Did I just see a creeper over there? Well. Whoa! Easy there. Mr. OSHA compliance. I need a new sword. What else? Come on. You gotta... feed me, Seymour. I need content. Hashtag. Nice of you to spawn on this side of the doorway. Go! Oh, I will say, if I can backtrack and add an addendum to the deck dump story. Having never rented a U-Haul before, everything I've heard is true. Everything I've heard is true. They are the worst and least maintained vehicles in all of the world. The girlfriend drove it. She's the one who rented it, but all the lights and errors and warnings were lighting up like a Christmas tree on the dashboard. One tire was low of air, and it was just like, yep, this is as expected. I would have been surprised if it wasn't this way, and perhaps a little worried. But it's comforting. It's comforting knowing that this van with 177,000 miles has perhaps only ever had 3 oil changes and is on its first set of tires. Quality stuff. Now that is lava and fire. Will the dog has a name, Pallet Hands, be able to enjoy the new deck? I mean, enjoy would be a strong word. I mean, we walk across it to get to my car to go on our walkies every day. I don't know, I mean, that's the other thing. We never used the deck, really, either. Except, like, that's where we kept the grill. And where we would grill from. But we never, like, we have furniture out there. And we have furniture on the front patio, too. And we never sit outside. But maybe all this hard work and effort we put into it. Hold on, this is the thumbnail. Ha! Got it. Maybe that will spur deck usage in the future. Although we did have a bunch of like potted plants and stuff on there. The girlfriend has made a decree. No more. Oh, I thought that was a hole. No more potted plants on the deck. Is the deck covered by a tree? By a 80-foot Douglas fir? Yes. Retractable awnings. No. This is a very old house. And attaching things to the exterior is not wise. What am I doing? I'm trying to make a hidey hole here. I mean, I was trying to think of a way to cover my car that now lives outside. I don't think a retractable awning would work. But like, one of those like sunshade things somehow wrecked one of those. Instead of getting, you know, the basic Harbor Freight, you know, carport tarp tent cover thing, which will just blow away in the wind. Says the man who attached a bird feeder. Once. One bird feeder is out there. And that's for the one bird who uses it. Your tree has a name, Douglas? Yes, Douglas fir. Beds made out of cobblestone. I didn't know this was a furry game. Ah, but fur, like the tree. I get jokes. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in to this absolute garbage trash pile dump of an episode. This isn't even an episode. That's how bad of an episode it is. It's a stream. Of Farlands or Bust. Let's go to sleep, see how far we walked, and we'll see you next time. Oh no! Why have you awoken me from my slumber? Alright. So I'm not as safe as you think I am. Classic. Classic Kurt J. Mac. What is happening here? Am I not deep enough? Oh, Jesus. Not again. I feel like this happened recently. And I'm not even over that time that it happened. Alright, let's try this again. We must go deeper. Porch on the wrong side? No, it's never been that. I mean, I guess it is on the wrong side a little bit. Is this the exit? Oh, it is. Oh, maybe that's the problem. Hi, Wolfie. Oh, hi. Hi, thank you for coming to my rescue, and goodbye. Oh my god. I can't make him sit down. Hey, sit. Sit. Oh, you dingus. Sit. Well done. Oh, I put the bed on the wrong side. Rookie mistake. Well, now, I've created an additional problem. Alright, now let's try. Let's try that again. Go on, you dang bone. We'll see you in the next one. I don't know why I did that. This is a stream. I don't have to keep doing the snoring. 44,103.4 megabytes. Ooh, buddy. Maybe there was something in all that paint and dust.